When we was with the team looking for questions and answers to bring to this segment, Ask the Expert, somebody says, what about family business? And we went like crazy looking for information out there. You know what? It's a big black hole. And when we went through who are the experts, we found Jacob Engel. So we contacted him, and we are so honored to have it with us. Jacob, thank you very much for coming to the segment Ask the Expert. And I would like to you introduce yourself and tell us why it's so different between family business and what we know as a regular business. Welcome.
Thank you, Susan. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. Family business, well, to answer the question very simply, and then I'll come back to it, family and business don't really mix. Think siblings, think family. Would you want to be with your family in the business day in, day out for the next 50 or 100 years? Let me tell you a little bit about myself, my background, and why I think that I can really help people understand the family business pluses and minuses. I come from a large family business. My dad was a Holocaust survivor. He started a spice and nut business in 1955. He came to this country. He unfortunately lost his dad in Auschwitz, came to this country without family, money, language, and started from scratch. He started to work for a company in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, famous then for the little shops. And the fellow told him, you know, Mr. Engel, you're a very bright guy. I suggest you go somewhere far and start your own business. And he sent him to Brooklyn. I mean, if you know your geography today, Manhattan and Brooklyn are very, very close. But in those days, it was just the other side of the world almost. And he started his own business, and it grew exponentially. I joined the business in 1975, straight out of high school, and performed almost every function in the business till I became COO. What I really experienced was a very, very high growth business, which in its own is a lot of tremendous amount of expertise to take a business to hundreds of millions of dollars, but it also about the dynamics of family businesses. So what I did was I put together, as you can see on the screen, something called the 10 Commandments of Family Business Succession. And I think that would be something to share with your audience.
I would love to, because people don't understand when you are working in a family business that you can have an argument on Friday, but on Sunday, you need to share the table on the Sunday supper with the same people that you arguing during the week. So I guess you need to follow these 10 commands. Please go for it.
Right. So I put together 10 Commandments because so many people have asked me, so what do you do differently? How do you set up a family business? And the statistics, we'll talk about some statistics a little bit later, but the statistics are very bleak about family businesses going to next generation. And one of the things was I said, so what is different about a family business that's so different about regular business? And plus, because you have the challenges of regular business, regular growth, the challenges that every business has, hiring and firing the right people, the wrong people, all those huge challenges. And then on top of that, you have the issue that you're working with family. And you have an issue with, like you said, you might have a huge argument leaving the business, but then over the weekend, you want to sit down by the same table, enjoy a meal. And those are huge challenges. I would say probably the number one challenge is that you really need to, there's an expression, most people don't plan to fail. Most people fail to plan. And in family business, it is crucial. If you don't plan, it's not by default. It's got to be intentional. So creating a plan, understanding what are the dynamics and what are the issues of the family business, those things become paramount to the success of the business. Whereas maybe other businesses, the planning is not as critical and as crucial. Another thing is that there's a huge confusion. If you look at the second thing on my screen, it's the rights versus the wrongs. Most family businesses, this was our mistake, believe that children or family have the right to inherit parents or grandparents. And that also includes inheriting the business and running the business. Now, that's a huge mistake. And one of the things that I quote here is a great saying, that you might have the right to inherit my money, but you don't necessarily have the right to run my business. And those are two separate things that most people don't make that clear distinction, and therefore end up either taking in the wrong family members into the business or giving them the wrong responsibilities. And those are some of the defects that we need to, or the challenges. I don't want to say defects, I'm sorry. Some of the challenges.
Well, it looked like we had so many to keep talking, because you just tip of the iceberg, and I have so many questions, and I'm sure people is going to have more questions. So Jacob, thank you very much. People is going to see after this where they can contact you. And we always love in Human Behavioral Lab to have different approach how to behavioral wise we can get better. Jacob, see you next one. Thank you.
Thank you.